Hello LEGO fans, my name's Evan and I wanted to make a little video guide to help you feel which characters are in these LEGO Movie 2 minifigure collectible series bags. You can't see which character you're getting if you're trying to collect them all. This guide will help you know what to feel for and maybe give you some tips on how to find them a little faster. If you luck out and you find a pristine box, you might be able to just buy a whole row. I've heard from a few sources that each row is 20 figures and that's all of them. But if you find one that's, a mess like I found with just bags thrown everywhere and kids have already rooted through them, you might need to get in there a little more with your hands and figure out what you're buying. So the first thing you do is feel for a single bag or a double bag. Some figures come with a double bag. Here's an example here. This is the Crayon Girl. You see it's in a bag and then has a second bag, and that's her pieces. And then outside of the bag, she has her crayon costume part. This is, she's really easy to find because this part is so distinct. You feel for this cylinder shape, feel to the end. You found the crayon. That one's easy. I'll put in the notes on the below which characters have the second bag because that's the first thing you can do to just quickly narrow it down. The only thing you could possibly confuse the Crayon Girl with is this Giraffe Guy. His neck here has kind of a similar cylinder feel, but he's thinner. He's got this ridge on the back with a mane kind of fur. And I mean, if you just feel the end and feel the ears and the nose, you really can't mistake it. He also comes with two of these little plant pieces. They're not soft like I thought they'd be, but those are easy to feel in there too. You can't miss it. Once you feel his long neck, it's guaranteed. After that, you got the watermelon dude. He's the next easiest. He might be the easiest of all of them. I mean, you feel this triangle shape. You can't miss it. It's a big, smooth shape. He's super easy. After that, the next easiest one is probably Unikitty. She is the only one that you don't feel like a headpiece. You don't feel arms and legs. She's just one. If you feel bricks, I don't even have her assembled right now. You found Unikitty. It's important to remember, though, as you're looking through these, each one has a base like this, and each one has this little booklet folded up in it, so you always have to deal with those as you're feeling around, which they get in the way a lot. It's not particularly helpful. Okay, so next I'll talk about the Wizard of Oz ones. The Dorothy is one that comes in a secondary bag. So if you're looking for her, quickly narrow it down with that. And then if you feel inside, I'll kind of use her bag to demo how I did it. If you feel her pigtails, they're squishy. It's kind of that rubbery material. And then if you feel a little animal with it, feel a little Toto, feel his little tail, feel he's got kind of like little ridges here between his legs where it's fur. You can't really mistake him. That's an easy one to find. Her cloth piece is outside of the bag, but it's impossible to feel that cloth. At least I couldn't, just, that way. Next up is Tin Man. He was pretty easy. If you feel, his hat is a small shape, but it's also, this funnel shape. Once you find it and you feel like you can stick your finger in here, feel around, and you feel the little handle, you found Tin Man. He's very cool. It's got these silver colors. You can also feel for his axe. His axe has a built-in end. Because when you're feeling for Lincoln, his axe is a separate piece. So when you feel the cylinders in there, and it doesn't have another anything on the end that's built in, you know that this is Lincoln. You can also feel for his top hat. That's pretty easy. But the two cylindrical pieces there, I think it's a lightsaber blade piece, were the easiest thing for me to identify. But I'll get back to Wizard of Oz. When you're doing the Cowardly Lion, his mane is a hard piece. I thought it might be soft, but it's not. So if you feel for the bag in a bag, and you feel a tail, it's either Cowardly Lion or the Kitty Pop. Cowardly Lion has the his 1x2 metal. I wasn't able to feel that in there. I just had to feel kind of his big kind of beard mane area. If you feel that, you can feel that it's not Kitty Pop, and then you can narrow it down. You can feel the soft tail pretty easily because that's in the main bag. So that's how you identify the Cowardly Lion. And then lastly, of the Wizard of Oz pieces, the Scarecrow has a very distinct hat. You can feel the rim. You know, there's only a few characters that have like the rim of a hat, so you could confuse him with Rex, but if you feel the pointy top and you feel that he doesn't have hair connected to the hat, you know that's Scarecrow. And also he's, you know, one way you can do it is he's the only character that has a 2x2 tile, his little certificate of brains or whatever here. And, you know, you can feel that in the bag, and, you know, you can't mistake that with anything else. The only thing you could the closest thing to that is Flashback Lucy with her gold record for Everything is Awesome, but this is a 2x3 piece, and so you can feel that it's bigger, has the two inverted stud things on the back, and that's how you know you found her. I didn't even bother with the hair or anything. It's just this piece is so distinct. Once you find a 2x3, you know it's the Flashback Lucy. She's also got two mics. You can feel the mics in the bag too. It's easier than you'd think. But Rex is pretty easy. Once you feel, he has the biggest hat rim. Once you feel his hat rim in the package, and you feel this little indent here, you can also, I was able to feel the raptor's kind of tail, and you know, but he's the only one with a hat like this, so you'll figure it out. You can feel this ridge through the bag. Next up, this is one that I found tricky. This is the Apocalypse Lucy. I found it easiest to, when you feel her arrow, her little quiver, you can feel this little piece that sticks off. Easy to identify. I didn't know what her helmet piece would really feel like. It has this piece in the back. Once you know that's there, that can help you identify it. If you're feeling something that's like a helmet but you can't stick your finger through the front, then you know that's her glasses. That's how you identify Lucy. Okay, then Emmet is also pretty easy. Once you find his coffee cup, you can feel a small cylinder, and you can tell that's him. I mean, the only thing you can confuse the coffee cup with is a minifigure head. So if you feel something that it feels similar to the, you know, that same cylinder type Lego piece, once you've found his coffee cup, you can't mistake it. And he's also got the little 1x2 little cell phone. I couldn't really distinguish his hair in the package, but just coffee cup worked for me. I would recommend that the most. Next is this Hula Lula. Because she has a cloth piece, she was also double bagged. So that's the first thing you can look for her. So if you find a double bagged character and you feel for this 2x2 round piece, you've for sure found Lula then, because this is the only round piece like this that, you know, that you'll find. The only thing you could potentially confuse Lula's round piece with is the round skirt piece that Candy Wrapper has. But this piece, you'll feel it in there. It's a hard piece. I thought it might be rubbery, but it's not. It's hard. Once you feel this oval shaped piece and you can feel these little ridges, you know that you found her. And that makes her pretty easy. She also has, you know, 1x2, but I would just focus on the skirt for her. That's what makes, you know, it makes her super easy. She also has Mike, so Mike is not the best thing to go off of. That can only narrow it down to like a few characters. But speaking of mics, this is also present in Kitty Pop. You would think that you'd be able to feel this guitar in there, but I was not able to feel the guitar at all. She's a double-bagged character also because she has a squishy tail. One of the trickiest things I think that remain with this is to differentiate her from the Cowardly Lion because they both have ears, they both have soft tails, and they're both in a double bag. So what I would try to do is feel for her headpiece. You can kind of stick your finger in here. If you're able to do this, you know you found Kitty Pop because Cowardly Lion has the main piece in the front that's kind of like his beard area. You can't stick your finger in through the front. Then you know you found her. That guitar piece is really cool. She's got that new vibrant coral color, whatever it's called. So she's a very cool little figure. And then I'll talk about Benny. Now the thing about Benny that I didn't expect was his toolbox actually has kind of the inverted stud deal on the bottom. I was expecting this to be smooth. When you feeling for Benny, the first thing you probably feel is his helmet. So if you feel the helmet, you can stick your finger in. You know it's not Lucy with the glasses. It doesn't have the notch thing on the back sticking off that Lucy's had. So you know you found Benny. And then if you feel his toolbox, which is a really cool piece, it matches like the old Lego space guys, like my Lego monorail. I'm pretty excited to have that piece. But if you feel this, the only thing is you could confuse it with Unikitty. She has those 1x3 kind of bricks. So that's just what you want to look out for. It feels like that, but I would feel around, feel for this handle. You know you don't have Unikitty. If you feel a helmet in there, you can't go wrong. He also comes with 2 of these little claw pieces. I was unable to feel down to the level of him having a different arm. I wouldn't rely on that. When it's in a bag, you can kind of move arms a little bit. You can kind of move legs to tell, but you can't differentiate. At least I couldn't. Okay, next we have President Business. I identified him by this cylindrical golf club he has. If you're feeling on a small cylinder piece, it could be Abe Lincoln, could be the swamp creature, but if it's hard and it's got the golf, feel down for the golf end, you know you've found President Business. This golf club end is, you won't mistake it. It's actually hollow on the, if you look on the bottom. And you know it's not Tin Man's axe, and you know it's not, if it's soft, that's the swamp creature's whip. So speaking of the swamp creature, mine is actually stuck in the bag. The inside bag is in there, and I haven't bothered to take him out yet. But his soft whip is on the outside of the interior bag. And so if you feel along and you're doing that same sort of cylinder feeling thing, if you feel it soft, you feel this kind of curved around shape, you'll know you found the swamp guy. His little helmet piece is also pretty easy to tell what's going on because he's got those little ridges. But, you know, he's another one that's double bagged. So if you double bag and you feel that whip, that's the easiest way to do that one. Okay, and then the last one, which is another one of my favorites, is the Sherry Scratchen-Post. She is another Apocalypse one. She's got the hair that has a distinct feel. When you feel these little pointy edges from the front, you know you found her. And the only thing, I mean, you could possibly confuse that with Candy Wrapper's little thing that comes down, but you can feel that she has 1 and she has 2, so you know what you got there. Neither one of these have the double bag, but when you're feeling, the next thing you want to go for is feeling the little Scarfield cat. I mean, I was able to feel kind of his body, and then you can feel his tail, and then you know you found him. And that makes her pretty easy. I think you won't have much of a problem once you feel the cat. The only thing you could confuse the cat with is Toto, but you can feel the differences in their tails. And remember, Dorothy has the double bag. Scratchen-Post doesn't. So that's how you differentiate those two. So that's been my guide. I hope some of these tips were helpful for you. These were things that I had to figure out over time, so I thought that maybe other people would find them helpful. And good luck and happy hunting, and hope you catch them all.